folks, how's it going? We're back. Long time no see. Hope everyone's doing well. Just want to get back into the swing of doing this smart money bias and the other, weekly reviews and all that stuff. Kind of took a few months just to myself. I have been trading, but I just wasn't prioritizing posting, but I'm gonna try to get back into the swing of that. So yeah, let's just maybe just begin. So we're looking at the dollar right now. I am thinking, for this week, I'm thinking we're still bearish. It's not 100% confirmed for me until we get below Thursday's low. I believe is the level. Oh no, Friday's low. No. Yeah, Thursday's low. We get below here, I'll be a lot more bearish. But as of now, to me, this is still the sort of the dealing range that's holding price. But if we did lose that low, I would expect it to go lower. And I would see that as a continuation of this price leg. So expansion, retracement. If we can get below here, I would expect it to go down to 104.1 and lower. Actually, I don't know how much lower, but at least to there. So that's not a lot of space. I don't know, maybe that takes a couple days to do. We'll see where we're at in the middle of the week, but that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm not interested in longing this personally. Yeah, I don't really have any long setup that I would love. Even if it started to break up, we'd have to see. But I have my preference, and of course I'll have to be flexible throughout the week. But anyway, so that's what I'm thinking for dollar. Pretty straightforward. Let's move over to euro. It's pretty well mirrored here. Same idea, just inverted, right? Still want to see this high taken out. That's Thursday's high. So I'm waiting for that. I'm not trading it until that happens. And yeah, this is my own rules. For GBP, pretty much all the same ideas. Looks pretty good. GBP is looking stronger, which actually makes me want to look at euro pound really quickly. I have not looked at this in a while. So weekly chart. Oh yeah. So I would expect this euro pound to keep going lower. You can see we came up into this fair value gap, took out all that liquidity, and have completely broken in terms of order flow. So, if you consider this to be an area of buying before they went higher, they've now taken that out, and it just seems to me that this is likely to keep going lower. So it makes sense that GBP would be stronger. But for me to trade GBP or EU, I need the dollar to show me the way first. That's how I like to trade them. I don't like to trade them if they're doing something differently than what the dollar is doing, because I think that's too risky. Alright, so let's look at Aussie. What do we see in Aussie? I might not have anything to say for Aussie. Let's see. I mean, it's the same idea. We get above here, then we could start making our way up to the high of this range, which is quite a big move. Let's see how many pips that would be. It's not too many, 64. Yeah, so the fact that we have not lost this low is good for the bulls, but I'd still want to take this high out. So I'll put an alert there. just to explain my thinking a little bit. Basically, it's kind of what I just said a second ago. Okay, you don't have a nice order block here, but I believe this is the kind of wick that you would use the equilibrium of, that ICT always talks about when he's using, sometimes he uses the wick as a PD array. This is the time when I'd be using it, but anyways, the idea is you've got price coming lower, taking out stops, and then breaking higher. So that gives you your range. And this area here is where they bought, where they took out those stops. So when we come back down into that, if it shows support instead of breaking, that can kind of tell us, that can kind of tell us that we're likely to continue going higher. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing it. And as of now, yeah, that wick has been supporting price. So yeah, see if we can get above this range. Now it doesn't have to, even if price does find support like at an order block or this wick, you still need to see the order flow change directions before you can sort of have a premise that we are going to go to the external of the range. So let me break that down a little bit. So here's your range, right? Here's my dealing range, high time frame dealing range, low to high, right? Price can come lower, lower, lower into the discount arrays, and still find support, right? Like, you can still find support on those levels, and also continue lower. So, for instance, it could come here, find support, and just because it's bouncing off of the high doesn't mean it's not going to go lower, is basically what I'm saying. So the thing that gives me confirmation that it would actually go higher instead of going lower would be if it took out an important level of order flow here. So for me, this is sort of a smaller dealing range. This is where they sold to go lower. So if they could take out that high, I would expect it to continue higher. And you'd also expect this to be sort of like a breaker, maybe on the 15-minute. So if they do take out that high, we might be looking for a breaker there. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I could have explained it better, but it is what it is. Now, New Zealand's a little more of a consolidation profile, so I'm not as interested there. Dollar CAD, what do we got? Dollar CAD. I'm really just looking for like the really clear and easy markets. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dollar CAD looks pretty weak. We came up into premium here. We took out that daily high, and we have attacked this low, even closed below it on the 4-hour. So let me see. Yeah, it looks pretty weak. I would even expect maybe this to hold price, and it continues lower. So if we get a clean setup there, it could be nice. So if dollar CAD, so let's think about oil without looking at it. So if dollar CAD is weak, that means the dollar against the CAD is weak, right? That means Canadian dollar is strong. And so if Canadian dollar is strong, oil can be strong, because they're quite well correlated. The only issue with that for me is that oil at the present moment is still under bearish order flow, so I already have this line marked out. We'd have to start breaking that high, and then we can maybe go higher for oil, but that's not super important to me right now. So yeah, if you look at dollar, so Dixie this dealing range on Dixie hasn't broken, but on dollar CAD it has. That's nice, but I would really want to see both of them breaking, and then I could be more confidently bearish, right? So, dollar yen, I don't really want to look at dollar yen right now. Nobody cares about that one. Gold, also not really that important to me at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where this is going. It's kind of, it already did its move, right? We already had the market maker model in the previous weeks. So that's, once we hit terminus, I'm no longer really interested in that market. Let's move over to the indices, everyone's favorite. What do we got? Very, very strong. Very strong. Still strong. No reason to think otherwise. All we've done is kind of retrace, fill in this gap, which is nice. Go down to 4 hour. You know, this range is no joke. In terms of resistance, like while this market is overall strong, you know, it is a bit problematic because we basically have a market maker model here, right? Went like left side of the curve, right side of the curve, goes to terminus, hangs out for a while, and then takes out the highs and breaks structure on like the 1 hour and the 4 hour. That's kind of a problem, right? Because they did a lot of selling here, right? And so we don't really know if they're going to protect those shorts or if they're going to let it go higher. So don't know for sure. And again, yeah, so it's kind of a problem for me. I'm definitely going to be watching it. In terms of how I want to trade it, I would think that we are going to go higher if we can take out this level here, this 15-minute area where they sold, right? So liquidity here, they attack that liquidity, they sell, and they go lower. So if we could take out those guys, I would be a little more bullish, but I don't like trading into that as resistance. So I'm going to be cautious there. And it's basically the same thing on NASDAQ. NASDAQ's less of a scary formation. Just because it's like driven high multiple times, and then this looks more like a kind of a correction. We didn't take out this low either, so that's kind of nice. So that's like an order block that didn't get taken out. So I think it's stronger. I think it's likely to keep going higher. It's just that trading it from here is a little less appealing to me, right? I hope that makes sense compared to the other markets, right? And so there's also Bitcoin. This looks like a mess. Maybe you go to the futures. Yeah. So Bitcoin looks really strong to me. It looks like I'm bullish, right? I'm long. I'm spot long. I'm expecting it to go all-time high soon, possibly this week, maybe next week. The only thing holding that back really is the fact that we did such a large kind of retracement on the indices, both ES and NQ. But the fact that we're bouncing back is nice for the bulls. And yeah, I mean, it just looks, to me, this just looks like a market maker model, likely to go offset up here, and who knows what it does after that. I think a lot of people, they say this breaks, we're going to 100K. I don't know about anything like that. I mean, to me, it's, how can you know? How can you know? Like, this is a market maker model here, right, from 2021, this area. As soon as we went up to that high, it didn't take long to start the whole retracement of this whole run up, right? So I just don't think that breaking this level automatically means we're gonna go somewhere crazy. We could, right? We could, because like when we broke this level, we went really high, but it's a different context, right? Because there was liquidity here, and the problem with these all-time highs, and once you get above the external liquidity, is where's the liquidity, right? And so it gets hard for us to trade because our primary sort of impetus is to trade liquidity, right? So as it stands, I bought down here in fair value. I want to get out up here where there's willing sellers, people that have their stops up here. I want to get out on that liquidity, and then we'll move on to the next trade, right? NVIDIA, I don't have forecast, but in hindsight, and you can check my Twitter, I posted a what do you see before last week. I was just hinting at this market maker model that we're looking at, right? So we have great bullish dealing range here, returns to discount, breaks order flow, taking out these highs where they sold, breaks the order flow, right? What am I saying? So when we're coming down here, right, we form an order block, it takes out liquidity, right? And then it goes lower and it takes out lows. Price comes up, and what does it make this? Right, it makes it a breaker. And then terminus. And actually it was really cool because we gapped up. So if you're long, you got a bonus, big bonus there, which was great. But yeah, that's about it. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking for the other markets, the ones we have opportunities in. I appreciate you guys coming back and checking out the videos. I will try to do a midweek update once the market has done something significant. If it doesn't do anything, I probably won't post. And what do I mean? Like, if we stay in this range here for forever, I'm probably not going to make a post. If we break this, start displacing, I'll probably, update or something. Okay? So, yeah, have a good week, and thanks for tuning in.